Hello, my name is Santiago, Library Assistant at the Buford Sugar Hill Branch.
And my name is Eli, Library Associate at the Buford Sugar Hill Branch. The purpose of today's program is to give you the tips, tricks, and tools you need to begin crafting your business's online presence through social media. We'll begin by discussing how to brainstorm on your business's identity, and we'll show you a demo of a library tool that can help you. If you're with us today regarding a business you've already started, this is still important for you because this database is an amazing tool for any stage of your business. After brainstorming, we'll cover creating your social media account. Our focus is on Facebook and Instagram, the two most popular social media sites. Once we've gotten an account created, we'll show you one benefit of having a social media account, which is how to research trends, potential partners, and competitors. Finally, we'll get to creating your posts and the tactics that come with it. After posting, engaging with your audience is essential, perhaps just as important as posting. And to conclude, we'll show you how to measure the success of your posts and accounts using Facebook's metric and insight technologies. Let's get started. The essential first step in the journey of starting a business is always figuring out what you want your business to be. Some questions to ask yourself are, what is my business? Who is my target audience? And what do they care about? Your identity will affect everything about your business, from the business name and email to the social media platform you primarily use and how you write your posts. So it's better to shape your business identity before you open a social media account. If you're unsure of what your business should be, where to set up the physical location, or who your target audience is, Reference USA is the perfect place to figure it out. Reference USA is free to Gwinnett County Public Library cardholders. It's a fantastic online tool for researching statistics and demographics about consumers and businesses in your area. So let's go ahead and walk through how to access and use the site. Starting at the library's homepage, find the drop-down menu for Learn and Explore and select Adult Digital Resources. Select Business and Personal Finance and scroll down to Reference USA. Whether you're at the library or not, you'll be prompted to enter your library card number and PIN. After logging in, we have access to these available databases. There's open, closed, and new businesses, residents, homeowners, jobs and internships, medical practitioners, and consumers. All of these are definitely worth exploring, but today we'll be focusing on businesses and consumers. Let's go ahead and start searching businesses with advanced search. We can filter by all of these categories on the left. Let's say for the sake of an example here, I want to open a shoe store in Buford. Under business type, select major industry group. And of these choices, retail trade is a match for the shoe store, so I'll expand that. And from these choices, I'll expand apparel and accessory store. And here we have shoe stores. Perfect. I'll select that one and we can move on to filtering by location. I'll collapse this and select city/state. I'll just type in Buford, hit enter, and select Buford, Georgia. To be safe, let's also include Sugar Hill to see more potential competition. Let's go ahead and view our results. So it looks like there are at the very least 26 shoe stores already in Buford. My Buford shoe store dreams are crushed, but let's take a look at one of the business pages here, Foot Locker. We have a lot of information available here about this specific Foot Locker. We see job listings for multiple Foot Locker locations, industry profile. We can expand this for a printable map, also the demographics. We can see all kinds of information. But let's go back to the home page. I've changed my mind about a Buford shoe store. Now I'm thinking about a comic book store in Sugar Hill. Let's see if there's enough interest in the area. Let's advance search through consumer/lifestyle. We have different filters available here, and one of them is already selected. Contacts per household is pre-selected for all per household. I'll leave that because I want to see how many people in a household like comics. Instead of saying the household is one comic-loving home, I want to see specifically that there are, say, 4 comic readers there. I'll go ahead and select city/state and add Sugar Hill. Let's go ahead and add the neighboring cities of Beaufort and Sewanee too. Now we'll add the lifestyle filter. This is a little easier to navigate than major industry group because it's more common and recognizable. Let's go ahead and select books/magazines and comic book readers. I want to broaden it a little more than that, so let's expand collectibles. Since there isn't anything more specific, I'm going to skip collectibles this time. Let's go ahead and view our results. So there's a lot of interest in the area for sure. But let me go back and trim this down so I can focus on Sugar Hill now. I'll hit revise search. I'll just click on Sewanee and Beaufort to deselect them. Let's update our account to get a preview. Alright, still a considerable amount of interest. Let's view these results. Let's look at this page here. I've blurred out some identifying information here for the purposes of the video, but there are varying levels of information about consumers and residents on this site, from address, phone number, and email to estimated income and buying habits. You can see there's a notice here that tells you some residents may be on a do not call list and to comply with the law and not call for solicitation. So be careful with the information here. For what we needed from the site though, simply seeing the total number of comic book buyers in Sugar Hill, Georgia is enough. Back on the home page, there is some information about using the Reference USA mobile app as well as opening up your own account to save searches. Up at the top, we have the site's contact information as well as a learning center with archived and upcoming webinars to help you learn how to navigate the site. We can also help you at the library through book a librarian appointments.
So at this point, I'm assuming you have your entire business identity and target audience figured out, right? No? Well, that's perfectly fine. And if you do, more power to you. Finding your brand identity and target audience can be quite a lengthy process and requires a lot of research and forethought. But once you feel good about your business identity, the next logical step is to create your professional business social media pages. Creating a business page is quite painless and should feel familiar to those who have created social media accounts of their own in the past. The key difference being the tools that are available to you on your business page. We will first begin with Facebook. According to Pew Research, around 7 in 10 adults in the US use Facebook. And according to Alexa Internet Inc., it is the 5th most popular website in the world. So it's easy to understand why so many businesses gravitate towards Facebook for promotion and marketing. To create a business profile through Facebook, you'll first need to log into your personal account. If you don't have a personal account, go ahead and make one. Facebook requires a personal account to link to your business page, but don't worry, none of your personal information will be shown on the business page. Alrighty, so once we are logged in, you'll want to traverse over to the Pages section. This is going to be over on the left-hand side, right over here. We'll go ahead and click that. Then you'll want to go and click Create New Page. Here, you'll be asked to enter a name for your page. So let's go ahead and say we are making a bakery here. We'll call it Santi's Bakery. Why not? Here we go. Category, we will do bakery. There we go. Perfect. And we can add a description if we'd like. Wonderful. Go ahead and hit Create Page here. Next, you will be asked to add a profile picture and a cover photo. So let's go ahead and add our pictures here. And once we've uploaded our pictures here, you'll just want to go ahead and hit save. And congratulations, you have now created your very own business page. Now that our page is created, you'll want to go ahead and fill in all the remaining information for your business by hitting the Edit Page Info button on the left-hand side here. Here you'll be asked things like the phone number, email, website, and maybe even location. Once you have filled in your company's information, take some time to poke around and see what is available to us. You'll start to notice that we have a lot of new tools at our disposal. Unfortunately, we won't be able to dive into every single one of these tools today, but I'd like to quickly show you some of the more important ones, and later in our measuring success portion, we will be covering one of the most important ones available to us, which is Insights on the left-hand side here. So, the first thing I recommend you do is create a username, also known as a handle. This will usually be a shorter or condensed version of your business name and contains an @ symbol before it. So let's go ahead here. We'll click on Create Username. Here we'll go ahead and enter our username, and it can really be anything, but you do want to make sure that it is related to the name of your business so people will be able to find you and tag you in posts and things like that a lot easier. For the purpose of this, we'll just do Santi's Awesome Bakery. Alrighty. And does show that the username is available. We'll go ahead and create. Perfect. We've got our username. This username or handle will actually help people find your business a lot easier and make it so that anyone can tag your business in posts or anything like that. Also allows you to create very quick links to your page. For example, you would go to something like facebook.com/Santi's Awesome Bakery. Next, I recommend you take a look at the Add Button section right over here. Here you'll be able to add what is referred to as a Call to Action button, or CTA for short. CTA buttons are an incredibly helpful tool that allows your customer to interact with your business directly through your Facebook page. CTA buttons have a wide variety of uses, from adding a link to your business website to a Call Now button, which allows your customer to call your business number directly from the page. I'm sure by now you are seeing how useful these CTA buttons can be. But like I stated previously, there is a wide variety of CTA buttons, and ultimately it is up to you to decide which ones will benefit your business the most. I recommend visiting the Facebook Business Help Center for more information on CTA buttons and all other business inquiries regarding your page. So, now that we've created a Facebook profile, let's move on to Instagram. Instagram is owned by Facebook, and according to Hootsuite, it is viewed by 1 billion people per month, with its primary audience falling in the 18 to 29 age range. Instagram's main focus as a social media platform is mainly on posting images and videos. Therefore, it is a great tool for showcasing your brand's identity. Creating an Instagram business page is fairly simple and thankfully requires fewer steps than creating a Facebook page. To begin, you'll first need to create an Instagram account. Unlike Facebook, you won't be creating or using your personal account unless you wanted to, but instead making a new one specifically for your business. Now, we'll go ahead and enter the required information to create an account. So first, it's going to ask us to enter an email or phone number. And now you will be asked to enter a confirmation code that was sent either to the email or phone number, depending on what you entered. Go ahead and enter that here. All right, hit next. Okay, we'll be asked to enter a full name and password, so go ahead and enter the name of your business and whatever password you choose. Okay, now you will be asked for a birthday. Go ahead and input either your birthday, or you could even put something like the year that your business was created or anything like that. Alrighty, and now you should be shown to a Welcome to Instagram page. Go ahead and hit next. It'll start registering the account. Okay, so now we are given the option for connecting to Facebook. I highly recommend you do this, as it will connect your Facebook and Instagram business pages together, which will allow for you to do much more with your Instagram profile, like syncing your contacts, cross-platform posting, and promotions. Instagram relies heavily on Facebook for creating ad campaigns. Now, go ahead and add your profile photo. Next, you will be shown a list of suggestions, which you can definitely go ahead and follow anyone who you'd like. And from here, we should now be able to see our account. Okay, so now we'll turn this into a business profile. From here, you'll want to tap on what is referred to as a hamburger menu. These are going to be those 3 little lines on the top right corner. From here, you'll hit Settings, then Account. Scroll all the way to the bottom, and here you'll see an option to switch to a professional account. Once we click on Switch to Professional Account, we'll want to select Business. You'll then be asked to add whichever categories that apply, and fill some more information like a phone number, email, and location. Once the information is filled, Instagram will ask you to select the Facebook page that you will be connecting to this Instagram. Select your Facebook business page, and congratulations, you have now officially created your Instagram business profile. Fill in whatever information is missing and make sure to add a descriptive and engaging bio. With our Instagram and Facebook pages created, you might be asking yourself, when do I get to start posting cool pictures of my business? And well, that is definitely the next logical step. I first want to show you one of Facebook's most useful business tools called Audience Insights. Audience Insights is completely free and only requires you to sign up with your already created Facebook page. This tool is incredible for researching your audience deeper and provides you with relevant data on Facebook users, like what pages they follow, some of their interests, and even demographics like age range and relationship status. This information can be extremely helpful when it comes to tailoring your content to the correct people. So rather than talking about it, let me show you just how powerful Audience Insights can be. So we'll first want to travel over to facebook.com/business. This website is a fantastic resource for more information about marketing on Facebook and Instagram, and I definitely recommend taking some time to look over some of the information here. But for now, we're going to be concentrating on Audience Insights. On the main page, we'll want to click on Insights. Then we'll go down to Insights Tool, and finally Audience Insights. So here, if you haven't already logged in, it will ask you to log in. Otherwise, you'll see this button right here. So either go ahead and log in or go ahead and click the Go to Audience Insights. Alrighty, and then here we'll go ahead and click Everyone on Facebook. And here we are. Okay, so let's say that for the bakery page we just created, maybe this bakery is doing perfectly fine as a physical location, but it's looking to reach a broader audience through social media. So let's say we've been posting for a little bit, but maybe our posts aren't doing too well. Well, here we can select a variety of options to see exactly who I should be targeting my posts and promotions to. Let's select a location first. Of course, if you're an online retailer, you should probably leave this blank as you might not be tied to a specific location. But for the purpose of our example, let's say we are. Let's go ahead and over here in location, we'll type in Georgia. Alrighty. Then we'll want to come down over to interests. Here we'll go ahead and do food and drink. We'll do cooking and baking. Perfect. Now we are presented with some fantastic information in our selected audience. We can see here that 73% of our audience are women in the age range of 25 to 35, and that 43% of our audience is married. This information can be very useful when you're thinking about what type of content to post. We now know that a large portion of our target audience on Facebook is composed of married women between 25 and 34, so we can tailor our content specifically to target this demographic. Now, if we select the Page Likes tab right over here, we are presented with the most popular pages amongst our audience. Looking through our results, you'll notice that some are more relevant than others. For example, we see here that a large amount of our audience follows the Atlanta Beltline. This tells me that the Beltline would be actually a fantastic place to do any type of face-to-face marketing. You could even make content in the Beltline and tag the page, making anyone who follows the Beltline have a chance to see your posts. I'm hoping by now you're starting to understand just how powerful this tool can actually be. But that's not all. We can also look at the Location tab for information about where our target audience is mainly located. And by clicking here, we can clearly see that the majority is located in the Atlanta or Fulton County area. Let's go over to the Activity tab. Here, we get some more useful information. We can see that our audience has a high chance to click on ads. Seems like in the past 30 days, about 39 of them have clicked on ads. This is fantastic information for any business looking to advertise through Facebook. Down by the device users, we see that a vast majority of our audience is on a mobile device. This is very important to know, as if you have a website for your business, you'll want to make sure that it is mobile ready, as your audience is mainly browsing on their phones. So, now that we know how to use Reference USA and Facebook's audience insights to get a better understanding of who our audience is and what their interests are, we should be able to create a much more direct and targeted post. Alrighty, now we have our business pages created and we have researched our target audience. So let's start talking about posting. Posting content to your business page is incredibly important. But before we talk about how to post, let's look at some of the key differences between Facebook and Instagram, just so you have a better idea of what to post and where it will have the most success. Some of the key differences between Facebook and Instagram are that while Facebook has a larger amount of people, about 2.3 billion a month, compared to Instagram, which only has about 1 billion per month, Instagram actually happens to hold a much higher engagement rate than Facebook. Another key difference is the age demographic between the two. The majority of Instagram users fall under 30 years old, while Facebook houses an older audience between 25 and 50. This is very good to be aware of. Depending on the type of business that you have, you'll want to use each accordingly. For example, if your target audience is much younger, you'd probably want to put a lot more effort into creating engaging content on Instagram. So, when creating a post, there are 4 key factors that you'll want to consider: aesthetic, relevancy, cohesion, and consistency. Aesthetic refers to the way your posts or page looks. As a business, you want to have some sort of aesthetic that helps people visually understand your brand better. Something you will want to keep in mind is color. Color is one of the most important factors when it comes to deciding on a brand aesthetic, and research actually shows that color affects consumer purchasing decisions and increases brand recognition. Aesthetic is also very subjective, so it's ultimately up to you to figure out how you want to tell your brand's story visually. Think of aesthetic as the mood or vibe of your business. How do you want your customers to feel when they see your profile? Now, let's talk about relevancy. When posting on Instagram or Facebook, you'll want to make sure that what you are posting is relevant to your business and business identity. If you are, let's say, running a bakery, you probably don't want to be constantly posting selfies of yourself on the business page. You'll want to keep your content specific to your business and what it stands for. This doesn't mean you can't have fun with it or that you should only post product pictures. Just make sure that it relates to your business and represents you and what your company stands for. Cohesion is the place where relevancy and aesthetic meet. Having a cohesive business page means that your page makes sense both visually and conceptually. Create a plan for posting and think about what you're going to post before you do. Make sure it all goes together and adds value to the bigger picture. Successful business profiles always have a cohesive page that tells a story about their business. People should be able to click on your profile and tell exactly what it is that your business does without having to second guess. Finally, the most important of all is consistency. You can have an incredibly cohesive page that is full of personality, but if you don't post on the account consistently, you might as well not have even created one. This might sound rough, but on Facebook alone, there are 60 billion business pages active, and most users spend an average of 1.7 seconds looking at a piece of media before they click away. This alone should show you how much information users are exposed to on a daily basis. So if your company isn't actively competing for their attention, users can easily forget it even exists. Now, this doesn't mean that you should be posting 20 times a week or anything like that. Posting too much can also lead some of your customers to engage less with your page and sometimes even stop following it altogether. According to HubSpot, for a starting business page with around 1 to 200 followers, Posting 1 to 5 times a month is ideal. However, this drastically changes once your business page reaches a higher following. Once a page starts to gain traction and begins to post much more content regularly, it also starts to compete with other bigger businesses. Therefore, you need much more content to properly compete. So at this point, you're probably thinking to yourself, great, now I know some ground rules for posting on social media, but what should I post? This question is a bit tricky as every business is different and the type of content you want to create heavily relies on the type of business you have. For example, a fitness coach might want to post different workout routines, maybe show the process of their clients and their results. If you own a sneaker shop, you might want to post clean, crisp pictures of all the different sneakers you sell, maybe some shots of people wearing your sneakers. Ultimately, the type of content you post is really up to you. But a good rule of thumb is to always make sure your content is either entertaining, educational, engaging, or exciting. If the post you are making hits none of these areas, stop and think, what is this content really here for? Why am I posting this? Every post you make should serve some sort of a purpose, whether it's showcasing a product or a customer review. They should always be a clear reason as to why you are making that post. By now, I'm hoping that all this information is helping you think of some great ideas for posting. But before you make that post, it's good to know what content works better on which platform. As we talked about previously, Facebook and Instagram have some key differences in things like age demographic or engagement rate, but their more noticeable differences lie in the type of content they house. With this in mind, you'll want to make sure that you aren't consistently recycling content from your Instagram to your Facebook or vice versa. If your Facebook and Instagram both house the exact same content, then what is the point of having both of them? Not only that, but certain content that does well on Instagram might not do well at all on Facebook. So here's what you'll want to know about each platform. When posting on Facebook, you'll want to keep in mind the types of posts that will bring high engagement. These include, but are not limited to, asking questions. This is a great way to start a conversation with your audience. You can do behind the scenes posts, which makes your audience more engaged in your business and the inner workings. You can talk about trending topics, which will help your business stay relevant in whatever is going on in the world. And branded graphics also do great on Instagram, which help build brand awareness and a stronger identity. Finally, telling a story is another great way to engage people on Instagram. And according to Social Sprout, these types of posts bring the highest engagement to your business profile. Now, when posting on Instagram, you'll want to remember that the entire site is centered around images. Just looking at an Instagram profile, you see that it is laid out in a grid showing only the images that have been posted. This is why Instagram is fantastic for creating a visual display of what your company represents. When posting on Instagram, some of the same rules as Facebook apply. Asking questions, trending topics, and branded images do great here as well. The key difference is in the way Instagram displays your content. Because your profile is mainly composed of images inside of a grid, aesthetic and cohesion are incredibly important on Instagram. When someone clicks on your Instagram profile, they have an immediate visual representation of your company. Now, this doesn't mean that images are all that matter on Instagram. You also want to make sure you are adding good descriptions on your pictures. Another key difference between Instagram and Facebook are hashtags. There are a ton of different methods for getting the most out of your hashtags, but unfortunately, we won't be going too in-depth with hashtagging today, but I do want to say this. Hashtags are incredibly important on Instagram, and your posts are allowed a maximum of 30 hashtags. Use all 30 of them. This might seem excessive, but the more relevant hashtags you add, the more eyes you can get on your post. If you have any sort of trouble figuring out what hashtags you should add, a great way to research hashtags is to look for similar business with high engagement and see what hashtags they are using. This is a great way to find useful hashtags that are relevant to your business. To conclude our section on posting, I wanted to leave you with some great tips on how to improve engagement. According to Social Insider, Adding emojis to your captions seems to bring a higher engagement rate. As silly as it may sound, when compared to posts that had no emojis, posts that included emojis on their descriptions had a significant increase in engagement. Another type of content that does great on Instagram and Facebook are contests or giveaways. Creating contests or giveaways for your business creates an incredible amount of engagement and can often turn a viewer into a customer. Ask questions in your captions. This also leads to a higher engagement rate, as it gives your audience much more of a reason to comment on your post, which can sometimes create a sense of community and make your customers' opinions feel heard. The last thing I want to mention is to take it slow and experiment. You won't know what type of content will bring you more engagement or which platforms work best for your business until you experiment with different types of posts and platforms. Be creative and don't be afraid to try new things.
As Santiago said, you want to create engaging posts. Your social media presence should be both a promotional and engagement tool. You want people to engage with your posts, but you can't leave them hanging. You have to engage with them too. Always consider these 3 key components of engaging with customers: response rate and time, variation of responses, and consistency. If your response time is long or inconsistent, you're very likely to lose business. According to the 2020 Sprout Social Index, 40% of customers expect a response within 1 hour, while at least 79% expect a response within 24 hours. Check out this infographic. 15.3% said they unfollowed a brand because they received no response from them. Something you could use to your advantage on Facebook specifically is the response time and rate feature. According to Facebook Help, your page's response rate is the percentage of messages that you and other people who manage your page respond to. Your page's response time gives people an expectation of the amount of time it takes your page to respond to messages. This only accounts for a page's initial response time and rate to a question. It does not account for how often or quickly a page messages back after the first response. If you have a high response rate and fast response time, you can get a very responsive to messages badge. The green font makes it stand out against all the other text. Having a high response rate leaves a great impression on potential customers. Variation in response is almost as important as response time. No one wants to feel like they're talking to a robot when they voice a question, concern, or complaint, and it's something they won't forget when it happens. Customers want genuine interactions with employees or customer service representatives. While there are only so many different ways you can respond to a customer for whatever reason, just make sure you're not recycling exactly the same response you've used before. While being direct and to the point, don't shy away from holding as long of a conversation as needed with a customer. No one wants to feel like they have one comment or message to solve all their concerns with a business. Being flexible and varying the wording of your responses will ensure that you come across as a genuine business. Bringing up consistency and engagement after going against scripted responses may seem contradictory, but consistency here covers the entirety of business engagement on social media, from consistent response time and rate to consistently genuine responses. New visitors to your profile can see consistency upon visiting the very first time. They can see how frequently you post and how often you respond to your comments on your own posts. Having a consistent flow to your profile resonates well with customers, and it will increase your chances of engagement too. A jolting, inconsistent flow on a business profile is a red flag that the business might not be reliable in response or even in the product or service they're offering. Something else to keep in mind is that engagement on social media comes in many different forms. This can be both responding to posts and comments about your own business as well as interacting with other local businesses or organizations. Higher engagement as a business will bring higher engagement with your business. It's worth noting that Facebook prioritizes engagement like commenting, sharing, liking, and responding over post frequency and views. So the more engagement you have with customers and other businesses, the more engagement you're likely to receive with customers and other businesses. Networking with other businesses, creating an engagement group with other businesses, and even joining a local, state, or federal chamber of commerce is a little beyond the scope of this program, but these are all very good tactics to increase your engagement and visibility.
Let's say you've been posting and engaging with your audience for a while, and now you want to know more about who is interacting with your content. This can thankfully be easily achieved by using Facebook's and Instagram's Insights feature. Now, we won't be covering every aspect of their Insights tool, but we do want to show you how they work and some of the relevant information you could gather by using these tools. When you first create a business page, your insights will usually be blank as there hasn't been any engagement yet. But once you start to post and gain some traction, your insights tool becomes more and more useful. Using the Insights tool, whether on Facebook or Instagram, can give you great information that will help you further refine your audience and content. Though both Instagram and Facebook Insights tools are slightly different, they do share some similarities. Using Insights can tell you things like times of the day where your audience is most active. This can help you set a schedule for posting, which always aligns with your users' highest hours of engagement. Insights can also give you information on what type of posts are performing the best on your page. This can help you refine your content to feature more of the things that work. As you can see, insights can be incredibly powerful, and I highly recommend you take some time to look around and even do some extra research on important metrics to track.
Before we conclude, I want to take a moment to promote the Small Business Development Center as a great resource. It's funded by the University of Georgia System and the U.S. Small Business Administration. They provide one-on-one business consulting by appointment at no charge. Some of their services, like classes, include a fee, but right now their webinars are free to enroll in due to the effects of the COVID-19 epidemic. There is a Gwinnett office in Lawrenceville, but the website is definitely worth visiting even if you choose not to schedule a consultation. They're available at www.georgiasbdc.org. There were a few topics we mentioned in passing that went beyond the scope of today's program, but we are available to cover them in Book a Librarian appointments. Some more advanced topics available to discuss are techniques like paid promotions through promoted posts or influencers, and secondary social platforms for either marketing or monitoring trends. These are Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Snapchat. As we mentioned before, we can also assist you with Reference USA. To schedule an appointment, go to our website and select the drop-down menu Find It. Under Library Info, select Book a Librarian. Fill out this form. You can select any of these topics or type in your own. Make sure to use the notes section so that we are prepared to discuss exactly what you need. We are both from the Buford branch, so you can select that. However, since we are closed to the public and practicing social distancing, the appointment will take place virtually through a Google Hangout.
Alrighty, folks, and that is all we have for you today. I know this was a lot of information to take in, but whatever happens, we just want to say do not be discouraged. Social media pages, especially business pages, take time to grow and take shape. It takes a lot of trial and error to find out what works and what doesn't. Best advice I can give you is to not look at your numbers or care too much about your starting engagement. Many people get discouraged early on because of the low engagement rate. But what you want to understand is that you're not looking for immediate engagement. What you want to aim for is steady growth. Take it one step at a time and don't forget to be consistent. Thank you so much for your time. I hope this information was helpful for you and your business.